We are surrounded by a world of fascinating people who all share the same thing in common. And I have the pleasure of sharing their stories. I'm Wanda Ryan, and welcome to my show. Today, we have a very special guest, and our special guest is Memere Valentina. So, Memere, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Memere is a mother. She is a dancer. She is an inspirator. She's a role model, an innovator, and a grandmother. Most of all, Memere is Jonva, is Mama Memere. So we're very excited to have you on our show today. I want to start with, in your beginning, a memory, your fondest memory or a memory that shaped your life, that changed everything.
If I'm talking about memories, I can help putting my mom and dad in it because I was fortunate to grow up in a household where my father was he was in the military, and mom was an entrepreneur. She was an entrepreneur. In other words, mom did everything from sewing all our dresses and running the house. Of course, we had help. And she was a role model. As a military wife, we are six, 5 girls, 1 brother. And let me tell you, she was not in the military, but I guess since my dad was a military, so he kind of wobbled. And we were always happy from the time we get up in the morning to the evening. We just opened it. We had a door to the backyard. So we didn't have to go outside. They just opened the door and we were out there playing with the cat, the dog, and whatever else. So I would say in a nutshell, my childhood, I had a good, happy childhood. So,
And there were 6 siblings, is that?
We are 6 siblings, 5 girls,
Okay.
I'm the oldest, and 1 brother.
Okay.
She used to, when we're playing with the dolls, she used to be the taxi driver. So she would drive the dolls to school and stuff like that.
That's lovely. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in the beautiful island of Haiti. If I was 19 to come here.
Tell us a little bit what it was like there in Haiti. What would it be like on a regular day waking up? You know, what's the weather like? What are the people like? What's the food like? That sort of thing.
The Haiti that I grew up in was what I said, a paradise. And it's still a paradise, but you do not see it because there was a side that I hope someday you'll be able to go there because we have a lot of Canadians in Haiti. So I would say nice weather. You have the street market. You have the people, come from the mountain with the fresh produce. That's another thing. I never ate anything in a box. We had the help. We'll go to the fresh market, the produce, and everything they cook, we'll eat everything. If we can't, my brother will do it.
And what was the specialty dish?
Start with the beverage, cola. We got
Cola.
cola, champagne, all kind. And duri, rice and bean, duri à pois. You cook the rice with black beans, red beans, whatever. Up to now, that's my staple food. It's a complete protein. And for the meat, of course, we have chicken, we have griot. Griot is the national dish, it's pork. And then, you stew it and then you can put it now in the air fryer or in the oven. And they eat a lot of piment, which is hot sauce. I'm not fond of. They call it pickles. They make it with cabbage,
Yes.
vinegar, but it tastes very good. And Haitians are very welcoming people. And I also grew up international.
Right.
Europe influenced us a lot, especially France, because it was our last occupation. It was the French. So really, our culture, I would say, it's Afro-European, but more so European.
Okay. And what did you want to be when you grew up? What was it that you wanted to become?
I wanted to be flight attendant. It was something that, yes, a flight attendant. It did change after that, but that was my dream.
And then that changed,
Yeah,
obviously.
my mom wanted me to be a teacher, and dad wanted me to be a businesswoman. If I was living over there, I would have my big general stores. Yeah, you know, where you sell everything, the big one. Because that's
Yes,
why my mom used to start the business from scratch,
right.
and then she will sell it. Yeah.
Yeah. Father was in the military. Your mother, she was a teacher, and amongst other things, and being a
Yes.
mother to 6 children. I believe you said that she was also, she would design clothing.
Yes, if she was here today, she could be like a designer because every time we'll go and say, Mom, we saw this dress, we like it. And then she say, okay, let me see the picture. And right there, she will cut the material right there. So we always have new clothes. Yes.
Fantastic.
And thank God we never have to suffer for anything. First time I felt hunger pain was when I was doing intermittent fasting over here. I
Hmm.
never felt hunger pain. The minute I get up, the breakfast is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank God that I can say.
Yes.
And I did the same for my children also
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
grandchildren.
I do see that in Jonva, the kindness and the discipline, and he's always dressed very smart, like, very handsome. And to everyone, that is my co-pilot, the man of the hour for A Slice of Canada.
Okay.
Please explain from the beginning of when you met the love of your life.
Okay. Um, we had a neighbor and husband and wife. And since we couldn't interact too much with the guys, because my parents were very strict. So his name is Junior, which means June in Spanish. They would say Unio. And he used to come next door, and he was very fun loving, always telling jokes. And my sister and I, my second oldest, we used to go over there just to chat and listen to jokes and stuff. And one day he told me, you know what? I will be traveling to the US. And I said, oh, I'm going too. And he said to me, if you go, when you get there, maybe. Oh no, he said, can we start something over here? Or can you be my girlfriend? I said, no, I can't. Okay, not right now. And after that, we haven't seen each other for a while. And then we went to a festival, like it was like the Beatles type things, but
Hmm.
it was in a movie theater.
Hmm.
And we met him there. And he was with his girlfriend, prison girlfriend. And her name is Marie also, the first name, Marie. And later on, I learned that she said to him, when you come over here, you will marry her? Because he told her that I was coming over here. So he probably read something, whatever. And everybody went their way and he left. I didn't know. And I came myself. And one day I was coming out the subway station in Brooklyn. And I looked and I saw someone. I said, wait a minute. It looks like him because he had a nickname. And I called him and he turned around. He said, when did you get here? I've been looking for you for a while. I mean, he sent over there for my phone. My mom kind of played around, didn't give it. Whatever what meant to be will be. It is like 4 months between the two of us. He came in 4 months and me, I came after. And we live only 1 block away from each other.
Oh my goodness.
And after he told me, what are you doing on Sunday? I said, oh, what do you have in mind? He said, I'll come and get you for the movie.
Oh.
I went home and I thought about it. I didn't feel too good about it. So I didn't say anything. And then when you show up on Sunday, I didn't open the door.
No.
They call that in French, I think, I stood him up or something.
Yes.
I mean, then I forget about that. I didn't say it. Then we had a mutual friend who knew both of us.
Now, let me just stop you there for 1 minute. Excusez-moi.
Oh, ça va, merci.
Um, why did you not open the door? Was it not time yet?
Yes, I have a strong intuition. I felt that if I had gone out with him that night, that would have been it. And I didn't feel good about it.
Right.
And I
It
did.
wasn't, you weren't ready. It just
No,
wasn't.
I didn't feel right.
Yeah. So, and did he know that you were home and or didn't even know you were inside the house? You
He was,
just,
he rang the bell, he rang the bell.
oh,
I didn't know.
oh dear.
And then the mutual friend was having a christening for his baby. He didn't know that I knew him, so he invited us. Here I am walking in there, and the first person I saw, it's him.
Oh,
But his back was turned. Okay. And I went, poke him. He just ignored me completely. And I poke him again.
oh,
And he turned around and he said, in French, after what you did to me, you have the nerve to come and talk to me here? And I used my charm as usual. And I looked at him and I said, listen, there's this guy over there who is bugging me. And I'm just a little annoyed. Can you do me a favor? I promise I will tell you why I didn't open the door. And I said, can you be my date for the night? And that's the story. And I had a chance to tell him
it was time.
it was time.
You knew.
I knew it was time. Well, not when I left home, but when I got there.
So you went with your instinct.
I didn't even think. I told him because he was ready, I was ready. So
Yeah.
I said, just be my. And after that, I learned that he was lonely. His girlfriend in Haiti, he kept on writing her. For some reason, she didn't think that he was going to marry her. So I said to myself, look at that. Look how lucky she is. This guy is sitting here and he's thinking about her. And I said, well,
Yeah.
it's time for me to make my move, right?
Yes. And he was waiting for you,
Oh, yeah.
Both were ballroom dancers as well. Is that
While
correct?
he was a born dancer.
Okay. A professional.
No,
No.
born with the talent. But he used to go dancing him because in Haiti, the men, they give them more freedom. When I
Right.
was growing up, my brother could go dance. Of course, my father didn't know. But the first time, me, I had it in me. This is something I had in me. But you know when you have something in you and then it take one person or something to bring it out. Because I used to
Yes.
shake my body and stuff. Then he invited me to not ballroom, but I would say, to go dancing. But it was a big, it's not studio, but it was a ballroom in New York. I remember that. And while I was dancing bolero, and I stepped all over his feet because bolero, which is my favorite now, is something you have to be really skilled to dance a bolero.
Yes.
And after that, I was not shy. I said, I know I gave you a hard time, but can you teach me? And then what he used to do, he used to stand and he said to me to stand up, stand on his feet. As he moved, whatever direction he goes, that's where I go. And then after that, and then we start practicing at home. And one day he told me, now the student is so smart that you're leading me now.
Oh,
But we had fun because this is one thing. No matter what we had, what was going on in our life, the dancing not only unite us on earth, I think, wherever he is, because sometimes I have some sign that
yeah.
he's saying to me, it's okay, you can dance. And then that's what, but he was such a dancer that I couldn't go out with him. The woman will come in my face
Yeah.
and they'll just say, they come and dance with me. And after, he will get it too. And I said, you just go dance with these ladies and you're living with those people with two left foot.
Yeah.
Two left.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun. And up to today, I think it's a family thing. The kids will tell you, I grew up watching mom and dad dancing, and they have the rhythm and everything.
Yes, that's what Jonva mentioned, that he always remembers seeing you and your husband dancing, and you taught Jonva how to do ballroom dance. Duration of the time when you finally became one and you were married and you had your children, and how long did that take?
Well, both parents, they were not here. So there was something, I don't know if it was like that in Canada. Before you get married, the man has to go to the family, especially mom and dad, and
Mhm.
ask for you in marriage. So you know how things are. It's not like today. Even if it was today, my parents were leaving, I was single. If you didn't want to go and ask my father, that would have been it.
Right.
So then I also knew his sister. So when the sister found out that we were going together here, and he told her that he wanted to marry me, she said, remember, you will have to write to Mr. Valentina. You have to. And he said, okay. And he did just that because we had to wait. So my father replied. So I heard when mom got the letter, you know how it is with mom going to dad. And
Yes.
mom said, there is a letter. Dad said, what is it? He did not sleep that night, my,
Oh,
my father. Because
worried.
I was what you call daddy's princess.
Yes.
So mom said, you don't even know what's going on over there. I know them, we know the family, so let it go. And then when we got it, and then even though we didn't have our parents here, but I always befriended people older than me. I have a lot of my mom's friend, my dad's friend. So they all got together. On,
Yes.
on Sunday, we used to go visit them. They say, it's time. And then they all put together. I didn't have a big wedding. We have a very small wedding.
Yeah.
But the church wedding, especially the first time, I'm
Hmm.
saying the first time, even if I were to get married today, I would want to get married. Even if I do it at the courthouse, I would want to get the blessing from the church, Catholic or Baptist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's how it's about, I would say, a year and a half
Okay.
because I didn't have to buy a dress. At those days, you can rent a new dress.
You know, why not?
It was practical. Very,
Yes.
I got my dress, and then I remember I have cooked the food. We were cooking
Oh,
food for the reception. I almost burned my eyelashes from the
oh,
oven, but it was fun. But because you know what is make me feel so good? We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have like big wedding, but for me, maybe I became superstitious. I think the smaller it is, the smaller the better, because I've
yes.
seen people having big wedding and they don't even last for 5 years.
That's right.
So and then
Yeah.
yeah, and the first one when I was pregnant with my son, um, I didn't know anything about taking care of kids. My mom was not
Yes.
even here, and I did what I could. I went and I took a class. I took a class,
Yes.
and one other thing that I remember when I was pregnant with it, I have what they call, when you cannot eat. I think Princess Kate had it for 4 months. I couldn't even water. Could not.
Oh, no.
And at that time, after I got over that, I ate like a cow.
Right.
We used to work together. You know those big sandwich
Yes.
they make.
Yes.
I used to eat my food, and then when I finished, like a kid, I'd be looking at him. He said, "Do you want some more?" I said, "No, no." He said, "Yes, you want," and he would give me half of his sandwich.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Isn't that funny? But that's after you had the baby, and you didn't eat and you needed to, your body was adjusting
But
to,
he didn't have any issue with that. And one thing that up to there, sometimes I talked to Amin about, I said, one thing I remember about him, he took responsibility. We were not making a lot of money, but it's like we were making $1 million, okay?
right.
Because after I had the baby, it was snowing for almost a month. He didn't want me to go outside. He would come from work and there were no car. So he would go shopping. And he was a good cook too. That's another thing. Good cook.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
important.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. So if you were to give our listeners some advice on from a woman's standpoint, how do you know, or what are the signs that you think that you should look for when you find the perfect mate? What signs did you see in your husband?
Now, this is this question right now, you're talking to a single woman. I've been single for 12 to 13 years. So now I'm going to look at both ways. The first time around, it was love. You wanted to be together. And one thing I will say, even though I got married, I was 20, I am against young people getting married too early, especially today,
Hmm.
because it's after, the reception and everything, you start seeing certain things. So what I would advise them, take your time,
Yes.
young men and young women. And I am going to be very strict about what I have to say. Even though if you want somebody is going to stay home with the children, get your career going first. Some people are against it, but me, I'm for it. Like if let's say whatever, if you a carpenter, it doesn't matter, whatever, but make sure you're going into the marriage with some way to survive, because you never
Yes.
know. What if the husband, God forbid, is sick? What's going to happen if the wife can do anything, right? You cannot just go to the corner store and get a job to run the house. So
Right.
I believe that they both first of all, take your time, find yourself. Find
Yes.
yourself. Find
Yes.
yourself. Find out for a list. I have a list. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, the good and the bad. Because at the end, what I do, I compare them. If I have more bad than good,
Yeah.
that's not good.
So the list. Yeah.
Exactly, because don't be afraid. And once you fall in love, us women, that oxytocin is our own enemy.
Yes.
The minute we are under that spell, I call it the love drug, there's nothing else you can do.
No.
So you have to wait. You have to do it when you have your sanity. And if there's something you don't like, communicate.
Yes.
Don't go in there thinking that we all make that mistake. It used to be women, I think men, they are making that mistake also. In other words, you have to know what each other like.
Yes.
Maybe there could be a little surprise, but don't leave too much room for big surprise.
Yeah.
And the young men, I think we still need to work with them in certain area, because they put pressure on us. So I don't know.
Yes.
I talk to, I mean, it's not the same way, because many times we sit down, we talk, so I can say how he thinks. Yeah, the society,
Yes.
they put
Yes.
pressure on you.
Yes. I would, for me, I would suggest to give each other some freedom. I always need to have my own space,
Your space, yes.
and he would also need to have his space. So you have something to talk about. You go to work, he goes to work, you come back, you see each other, maybe you go ballroom dancing.
Oh, yes.
You do something, but you have to give each other, like you said, take your time, and I love that. Move on to Memere's Corner. Just talk
Okay.
about that, why you started it, what it's about, and where we can find you.
Okay. The reason I start Meme's Corner, it's because, again, everything is connected. I'm going back to after my husband passed away. I was functioning, doing the usual in the house, but emotionally, I was a wreck, because I said to myself, where am I going now? What am I going to do? And after 3 years of reflection, I said, the first thing I have to do, I need to go back to dancing. How do I do it? I got up, I look in the phone book, on Google, and I say, I didn't know what I was going to do. I said, I'm going to take up salsa. And I walked in there, and they know my story, and they were so good with me. And then I danced. Now here come, I think it was 2020, right?
Yes.
COVID hit 2020.
Yes.
Then right there, I became completely isolated, socially isolated. Then again, I mean, I just gotten out of school, and we got together, we're talking, and him is on. I said, start something on YouTube. And I said, you know something, I mean, I would like to connect with people and help them, because a lot of people, not everybody is fortunate like me to have you or my daughter not far
Mhm.
here. And I started giving advice.
Yes.
And then from giving advice, after a while, I stopped. And then he looked at me one day, he said, Mama, I think you need to go back to dancing. I
Mm.
said, yes, I would like to. However, I'm not going outside because I think I can do it myself, because I am a freelance dancer. I like to be free to do what I want. I don't like to be controlled, even in my
Right.
personal life. And then that's how Meme's Corner is born. And he's my right hand over here. And then I do the content. And every week we have our little corner that we call studio. And we go at it. And also, Meme's Corner, he came up with the name because we were browsing, for Mem, and we came up with it.
Yes.
Uh, as far as where you can find me, I am on you can find me on all the social media, which is YouTube, TikTok, Instagram,
Yes.
and it's at Meme's
Memere's
Meme's Corner
Corner.
Official. Yeah, at Meme's.
Official.
Meme's, as you say, Memeres Corner Official.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And
And
we'll definitely have that in the in this video for people to check it out. I did go through some of the videos, and you had some great tips for cooking, and some exercising going on, and just some healthy facts and healthy eating, and all wonderful things like that. So that's great. And especially, since we're now back in the world, all that time with the COVID, we were all kind of sitting around and the fridge was way too close, so now we have to get back and be healthy and live happy and be healthy again, right?
yes.
So, well, I want to thank you so much, and I'm going to ask you, as our guest, if you have a one question that you would like to ask me before we finish and wrap up the show.
Talk to me about your radio.
Slice of
Yeah,
Canada?
Slice of Canada. Just a
Okay.
little bit.
So right now you're actually on a Slice of Canada as well. We provide the platform, the radio show, and then we have radio stations that pick up our show, and they will air it all over the world. So it's pretty cool. We are having so much fun with it, and it's really happy living, and it's taking you away from all the craziness and the busy of the day, and just giving you some fun, giving you some moments of entertainment and enjoyment, and just you don't have to think about anything. There's no complications. Everything's simple. Trying to keep it simple and entertain people in a different kind of way.
Can I add something?
Yes.
I wanted to say something about dancing. You're talking about health. That is also one of the reasons why I started Meme's Corner. A lot of people say, I don't have time to exercise. I would like to tell them music is international, that language. And dancing is it's a therapy. Dancing for me, take me away from where I am.
Yes.
And it's good for my mental,
Yes.
my emotional state, and my physical. So please tell them, when they're watching my video, when I say dance with me, get up and dance with me. It could be 15 seconds, 30, but they're going to say how much fun. I dance all the time. In the kitchen, I'm cooking, I'm dancing everywhere.
Oh,
Because it's good for me. It's a therapy. It's my
that's
friend.
fantastic. No, I can't wait. I'm going to check it out. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I hope that you will join us again. Maybe in a couple of months, we'll check in on you.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. Well,
Can
thank you.
Can you tell me I listen to the show, but I would like to hear you, to hear me on the show.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. God
Mer-
bless.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Au revoir, à la prochaine.